Yo, JD here, Limitless, and as you can see, back on F1 2021 as always. And today we are here with some league racing from the Online Racing League, ORL, which is a league I compete on PC. And you can see here, we have some very, very fast drivers, such as Daniel Beresne, a current McLaren Shadow Esports driver, someone who I've raced with and managed in the past. He's probably on raw pace, especially over a lap, one of the fastest drivers I've ever gone against in my life. And I think he actually still holds the record of the most esport poles, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe that might be Rasmussen now, but nonetheless, he is just an absolutely insane driver. And there are many other drivers in here as well who are aspiring to be in F1 Esports, if not part of an F1 Esports team already. So this competition is just absolutely insane compared to when I play on Xbox. There are some very, very good drivers on there, but I think on PC, from first to last position, the speed is just a bit more, insane. But you can see here, we were really struggling on pace around this track. China has been a very weak track for me on this game. But you're about to see, we did a 31.2 as a banker, which wasn't too bad. But then Beresne, he just does a 30.5. So, yeah, it's pretty incredible how fast they can go. But I know myself, this is a very, very good learning curve for me. As I said before, it doesn't matter how much experience you have. You can always improve, you can always learn new things, and watching people go faster than me, I take that as a challenge rather than something that demotivates me. There's something that actually motivates me to just get even better as well. Because see, we managed to get through Q1 by the skin of our teeth.
Oh my god.
And we tried to go through to Q3 on mediums, because medium to soft I think is quite a powerful strategy around here. And potentially if there's a safety car as well, it could really play into your hands, being the cars out on track. And I didn't feel that confident in my soft pace. So this is the last attempt we're going to have. We're currently in P15. If we could get through to Q3 on mediums, then that would be an absolute godsend. So I was trying to save a set of fresh softs for the race, just in case. So that is the aim, and I'm just going to give it everything here. In terms of the setup, I had enough time to prepare for this. I did spend a good 2 hours, but I'm still learning the difference between Xbox and PC. You could just run so much more aggressive setups on PC, particularly with the brake bias. I noticed Beresne was going down to 50% brake bias for turn 1 and changing his diff quite a lot as well. And that's definitely something I'm going to experiment with a lot. You can see I'm actually changing mine myself. I've gone up to 55 here, 54 for the other corners. But it's just something on Xbox, you just can't do that as much as you can on PC. And so I think there's quite big differences there. That's why I always say it's not particularly comparable, and you really have to drive a different way depending on what platform you're on. So I think next game I will probably be full-time, potentially on PC, because I think that'd be a much more beneficial for me. But here, this is still a really great learning curve and experience. You can see we're 4 attempts up on our previous app, which we invalidated. Coming across the line here, we're 6 attempts up. Is this going to be enough to get through? It's 10th place.
10th. Stay. Yes. Woohoo!
And that is enough to get through to Q3 on mediums. So we're going to start the race on mediums. Even if it's 1 position gained, I'd be happy with that. And if we could do something in Q3, then that would be a bonus. So the difference between the delta is about 1.4 seconds. So I was quite happy with that. I know there's many people who could do a mid 31 or even a low 31, which is just insane to me. But that's something I'm going to strive towards. I'm definitely going to keep at it, especially around here, because this track it's
just banking on these guys not improving.
I just really, really struggle. You can see we've done a banker lap of I think it's a 30.9, something like that. So one more attempt here, saving a set of fresh softs for the race. But yeah, this track I just haven't got along with. It used to be my favourite track, but this game, with the curbs, I just really struggle on just raw speed. So I was hoping the SERP would be better for the race. That's kind of what I was convincing myself. Whether that's true or not, we will find out very shortly. Because my strength is usually being consistent and good race pace and managing the tyres well. See, we've got a good start to this lap, so half a tenth up, going through into a 23.9, so that's not too bad at all. Higher than the 6th place guy, so that's a pretty good first sector. A little bit indecisive going into that hairpin and going through here. Do we go flat out? I think we do go flat out. Coming through into this corner, 4th gear and upshifting into 5th to stabilise the car. I go down to 2nd, missing the apex, running a bit wide there, and that wasn't particularly great. We've actually lost time to our previous lap. Go through a middle sector split. We are still just slightly down as Berezne does a 30.1. I wasn't even going to look at that because that would just be distracting me a bit too much. But coming off this corner, we have made up some good time coming through into here. And the biggest place I can see where I can gain time is just carrying a lot more speed into the corners, trusting the car that will stick to the road, which on Xbox, I don't trust it that much. So that's definitely a new driving style that we have to adopt, just being much more aggressive. But coming through this last corner, do we do this well? We do this pretty well. That was actually pretty good coming through into and going across the line. It's a 30.7, which I was happy with.
10th. Still 10th.
But there's still 10th, as I said. Still in 10th place with a 30.7. I wasn't too displeased of that, but
yeah, I'm just
definitely a bit of a wake-up call of how fast these people actually are. Berezne, 30.1. 30.4 P2.
Away.
We're not a million miles away, so I think with time, we can definitely close that gap, and I'm really looking forward to see how much I actually progress. So coming to this race now, we're starting P10, so we could have been P11, but P10, we still have these mediums. We're not fresh mediums like the people behind, so it's better than nothing. At least we got through to Q3, so now the focus is on the race. Let's see what we can do as we got 4 lights, 5 lights here, and as they go out now, trying to get a good start, but some people have jumped aside. You can see 2 people have done a massive jump start there. So I did well to not let that react to me. Oxygen, I think ahead of me, is getting a good start. Oh, actually, that's Nardi Perez, who used to be an ex-esports driver himself, going down the inside, right up into 8th place. So this is actually a pretty good start so far here. Trying to go round the outside of the Mercedes, but I don't think it's going well. He cuts it off very aggressively there. Not much we can do. Let's see if we can defend this position as we do. So we managed to slot into the 9th place here. So making up 1 position, definitely better than nothing. But now let's see what the race pace is as Oxygen is trying to go down the inside. He is on the soft, so I think he's in a bit of a hurry because softs are, on this game, I describe him as a pretty good tyre round most tracks. But round here, it's really after 5 to 6 laps where they just lose all their pace. But until then, they are absolutely rapid. They are very fast here. So I'm just going to do my best to try and get into the rhythm of this race. You can see by the video length, it's quite a long one. And I promise you, it's a very good one until the very end of this race. Because we do some good pace at the end of this race for unknown reasons. But coming down the straight here, I wasn't thinking about Oxygen going down the inside. But then he just dives down the inside. So we leave him some room. No real point fighting him too hard, because he is on those soft tyres. So we're just going to let him go, let him do his thing, and just get into the rhythm of this race as Berezne leading this race with a little sizable gap as well already, as we've got Jorpa behind, who we had some good battles with in the past, in previous rounds. He's behind us, and he's a pretty good pace. Everyone is really fast in this league. No, there's no one who is slow. From top to bottom, I think everyone has a very good pace, and as I said, I really welcome this. This is definitely something that hopefully is going to push me even to the next level. After all the years of playing, I can always improve myself, especially just in the raw speed here. So we're hanging on to Oxygen. You can see after 5 laps, this is the point where the softs do start to lose a bit of performance. You can see Berezne, he's already got that last corner, so they've broken away from this pack. But you will see as the laps go on, the difference in performances. We're almost losing it through that corner. Jorpers always gets a good exit coming off that corner, but don't think it's going to be quite close enough to go down the inside. But you will see as the laps go on that the softs really do degrade very, very quickly here. And you can see again that gap. They still got that gap. So it's really at this point is where they start jumping off the cliff. This is where I could see Oxygen was starting to really, really struggle on the tyres. And there's a bit of a gap forming up ahead of him. I think he just about got within the DRS zone. Does he have DRS? Yes, he does. But we're going to try and overtake him because I think he's definitely going to be losing the DRS next lap. So we're going to go try and go around the outside of him. Does he try and find it around the inside? Yes, he does. So quite firmly puts his car there. Luckily, we didn't hit him on the exit. So it just goes slot in behind once again. Try and get a good exit coming off this corner. Just kissing his curb in the race is what you want to do. And then going down here with the DRS and ERS, I think it's going to be a comfortable overtake. But now, we've got to try and get within the DRS zone of these guys up ahead. And with me, I've said it before, I think my pace just gets stronger and stronger the longer the race actually goes on. And I think that was definitely the case here, because I've started to feel quite good on these tyres. See, we've got 2 tenths to find in the space of 1 sector if we were to get within this DRS zone. And you can see the leaders still have a bit of a gap, so their pace is actually still very, very good at this stage of the race here. But I'm just focused on getting in the DRS train of this lead medium group. So this is the lead group for the alternate strategy, which could play into our hands very, very nicely. And I think we have done enough to actually close in that gap. So our pace in the mediums right now is very, very strong. So the setup is definitely on the understeery side, but that's very beneficial for the race. It's enabling us to push quite hard without the worry of the car getting away from us or stepping out on us. So we've managed to get back within the DRS zone, and we have done really exactly what we needed to do. You can see the wear was on about 30-ish% there, but you can see at the end of lap 10, the lead that Beresne and the other guy in second on the softs had is absolutely gone. They had about a 4 to 5 second lead. That has now absolutely evaporated. So all of a sudden, this race has actually turned into a very favorable one. The guy who's in second, he's back in fourth now. So he is really, really struggling on his tyres now. Zeal, if I can pronounce his name right. And his actual red light is flashing as well. So we're just going to let them do their thing coming to. Someone's trying to go down the inside of me there. I predict that the AlphaTauri is going to go into the pits as Danny Beresne goes into pits. The AlphaTauri follows him as well. And now we have been promoted into P4 in this race now. And we were very, very close to them. And if a safety car comes out in the next, really, 5 laps or something like that, we could be in a, well, we'd be in such a good position, because that's confirmed. They can do 10 plus laps, even on used softs as well. So as the laps go down, the typical strategy for the medium would be medium to hard. That's a lot of people do. So Manilin's actually going to the pits to Mercedes. He's pitted quite early. There was another guy who pitted even earlier than this to go onto the hard tyres. So we've got that job again of trying to get back within the DRS zone of these 2 guys up ahead. So it really does count that we are faster than the Mercedes, who's in the lead of this race here. But I felt like my pace was very, very strong at this point, having a lot of ERS, 44% tyre wear at this stage. So we're managing our tyres pretty well, because we're just not really sliding around that much, which, well, that's what you need in qualifying. You need to slide around to have that more downforce, to have that more grip, and just to have that more car on a knife edge in the race. Sometimes it is beneficial, not all the time, but sometimes it is, to have a car that's a bit more planted, look after your tyres, it's easy to manage, and it pays dividends back throughout the race, especially the longer it goes on. So if a safety car did come out between now and lap really 18, 19, 20, when we're looking to pit, because we are looking to go on the soft tyre, whereas a lot of people have gone medium to hard.
They're in traffic. As
Beresne and that, everyone is in traffic. I decided to extend it as long as I could. And the reason for that is because the people who go pit for hards, so I think there's some people go pit at the end of the lap. they're already going to get an undercut on me with the hard tyre. As you can see, both of them pit, so we're actually going to take the lead of this race now with the DRS as well. I decided to go for the softs because I would be losing track position and time anyway, and if I come out with 5 lap fresher hards, that's not really going to make so much of a difference in lap time because the hards are already a very consistent and durable tyre. So I thought, I'm going to lose time anyway. I'm good on my tyres. Why not extend this as long as I can? Because I knew the softs could do 10 plus laps. Although they start to fall away after 6 to 7 laps, it is possible that we could have such strong pace that we could actually be making up a lot of positions. And you can see we're just continuing on and on, doing 35s, which I was pretty happy with on these used mediums as well. We did about 3 laps in qualifying on these tyres as well, so they aren't fresh tyres. Coming across the line, we do another 35.9, so being very consistent. You can see Beresnay is already within 8 seconds of us, and you can see the tyre wear indicator has come on now, so his pace is coming back, but the softs are going to be very, very strong at the end of this race, as Jorpa's got a good run on me, but my teammate is actually behind me as well. Sven Zerner couldn't make it this week. He had a little look down the inside. That's actually a bit problematic to me because I really want to be pitting not this lap, but next lap. Jorpa, is he going to go in? No, he doesn't, so he continues. So I'm going to have the DRS beneficial from him. But my teammate actually started on fresh mediums, so he should be a little bit quicker than me at this stage. And he has good pace. So my tyres are really starting to fall away now. You can see Jorpa really struggling, so he's pushing very hard himself. Going down this straight, I didn't think my teammate would be attacking me because they were looking to box this up, but now we actually come under attack from my teammate. So this is definitely not what I want to do at all here. So he's going down the inside. On the exit, we're going to make a little bit of contact with him, so it could possibly be damaged. We're going to go into the pits no matter what, and luckily he actually continues, because if he continued there, it would have been a pure dogfight going into the pits, and if we lost out, that would have been our race completely over here. So we're going to box for the softs. We have fresh soft tyres as well, and now it's hammer time. Now let's see how fast we can really go here. So we're going back in P9. Let's see how many positions we're going to come out in P10. So that's not bad at all here. You can see Beresnay's got a big lead, but there is a whole train of cars coming up that are not that far ahead, actually. So we're actually surprisingly in a really good position and did a very good stint on those medium tyres. But we're going to skip towards the end of this lap here. We're catching up to Zhizou in 8th place already, and see, doing a purple middle sector. It's key that we get past people as quick as we possibly can. So come off the exit here, we have 100% ERS. We're using the overtake here because we wanted to see how good our straight line speed actually was. Our straight line speed looks to be very good. He's actually turned off his DRS here, so we're just going to go down the inside, try and catch him a little bit napping here, because if we could get ahead of Jorpa and then get ahead of the cars ahead and put a car between us, we could actually break away from his DRS. So that's really the aim here at this stage of the race, doing a purple last sector as well, so still having a lot of ERS on board. It's crucial that we get past them as quick as we can, as Andre has done a 32.9. It's really crucial that we get past this house as soon as we possibly can. So getting some very good traction on the exit here, using the ERS here. And what is he going to do? Is he going to defend this? Not particularly hard. He actually lets us go into this corner. So doing a purple first sector, a 2.7 gap up ahead, but he's actually been caught behind this house as well. Is he going to let him go? Yes, I think he does let him go in the end. But now the game is on. How many positions can we gain with this soft tyre? That is the question. 5.5 to the lead Mercedes, and then to his teammate. It's now 2 seconds. We've closed in 0.6 of a second. Another purple middle sector here. So we are absolutely on fire right now. Still got a lot of ERS to play with, and my goal was to try and catch him to get in the DRS zone by the end of this lap, because I didn't think he'd be using that much ERS to defend. So you can see how much speed we are closing a straight line. We're really depleting a lot of our ERS now, because I want to try and break the DRS to Yorpa up behind as well here. So getting a good exit. We're actually going to get rid of the detection zone coming through this last corner. So this is absolutely perfect. Coming across the line. What is this going to be? It's going to be a 32.3. Easily the fastest lap of the race here. We've broken the second to the car behind now. So if we can overtake this Mercedes, put some distance between myself and the Alpine, then that's going to make our race much, much easier. Closing in so quickly on the cars up behind. I sense this is going to be a little bit more of a difficult overtake. Is he going to be defensive? Yes, he is, but we're just going to do the dummy down the inside. Ricardo-esque here. And now we move up into 5th place in this race. So we made the right decision going long in this race. And our tyres, I think, are still going to be in relatively good condition. They might lose a little bit of speed at the end. But I think the speed that we're closing in is just absolutely relentless right now. Now we're trying to push out the DRS zone, making sure we break the DRS of Yorpa, who's probably going to overtake him going down this straight. So you can see here, we're trying to get as good exit as we can. Let's see what the gap is. 4.9 to the Ferrari, 3 seconds to the next Mercedes here. And you can see we're depleting all of our ERS because I want to try and break this DRS. But Yorpa is got overtaken, which he does going down the straight. But it's crucial that we keep him out of this DRS zone because we are on the same freshness of tyres. And I felt that my pace was just very, very good right now. And we keep him out of this DRS zone. Let's see how much we can now close in on the guys up here. 2.4 and 4 seconds to the Ferrari. As you skip ahead to next lap, you can see the gap is now 2.4 for the Ferrari, 1.7 to the Mercedes, and we've actually pulled away from Yorpa behind. So that just confirms we are the fastest car on track right now. And as the race goes on, the stronger we get. This is always the case with my driving style. So now I really want to try and get within the DRS zone by the end of this lap. So just making sure I set these little targets for myself because the race for a podium is on here. If I got a podium here, I said it in my live stream, with this level of competition, although some people don't know many of these guys' names, maybe because they're on Xbox, these guys are absolutely rapid. These guys will be the future of F1 esports as well. So we're just trying to close in as much as we can. I don't know if we're going to be close enough to Perez. No, definitely not. But a podium here is well and truly on the cards, and it would feel like a win. As a safety car has now come out now, and I didn't know what to think of this. Is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? Because we were catching them so quickly. Will Beresnay and those people pit? One pits, the Ferrari actually pits. So he's going to go on the soft tyre. So now we've moved into 4th position. But Beresnay and Zeal, they haven't pitted. They decided to stay on the medium tyres, which I thought was very, very interesting. If I was them, I probably would have pitted. Because of just the freshness of those tyres would have just been so insane. But looks like we're not going to get DRS for the rest of this race, because it does take 3 laps. And I thought to myself, we could be in a position where we could actually maybe even win this race now. If these tyres can keep going, then let's see what we can do. So as the safety car pulled in, I think we're going to be able to tell after 1 lap if our tyres are still going to be good. Because normally after 5 to 6 laps, that's when the performance does start to drain from these tyres. So if we need to do something, we need to do it now here. So coming through it here, the first corner wasn't giving me that much confidence, and I felt already that maybe these tyres had just already sucked the life out of them already. So the mediums are a very, very consistent tyre. They can definitely do well over 20 laps. So these guys in the front, they should be quite comfortable. Bowen, who is ahead of us, he's on the hard tyres. That's a very durable, consistent tyre. And you can see we're not making the inroads as we did before. Beresnay is already getting away, so you can see how much pace he actually has. But yeah, the softs, they just haven't got that peak performance. They're still good, but I think they're just very, very equal to these tyres. And we got Yopa up behind us, who is actually closest to us than we are to the car up ahead here. So we're not going to have the benefit of the DRS on the last lap. We just got to hope one of these guys actually makes a mistake. And I was praying that Yopa would not go down the inside here, which he doesn't. So coming through to here, I was just going to push as hard as I can because I really, really wanted to try and get this podium here. So coming off the exit here, trying to get a good run. Still no DRS available. And it's definitely confirmed that the tyres, yeah, the softs have already gone off here. They've already maximised what they could do. But I'm still going to be pushing as hard as I can because I still felt the performance at this stage, it was just very, very equal between all of us here. So I'm just going to try and be as close as I can, save as much ERS as I can. You can see we still have quite a lot of ERS to play with, but I wanted to use all of it going down this main straight. So being as close as we can, that's what I'm going to try and do going down this main straight and making sure we don't lose position. As you can see, the Ferrari, the newly fresh soft Ferrari, is in P6. I was quite surprised that people at Beresne didn't pick because they had quite a big lead, but I guess they were just confident in their own pace. Now we're going to try and be as close as we can to this Mercedes. Can we get this podium? I wanted it so badly. After the comeback we done, starting P10, already up into P4. You can see we're just getting that chronic understeer coming through into here. Now we're going to be using overtake now, using everything we have. I was really hoping that they would be low. We are closing in very, very slowly here, but it's going to take an absolute dive bomb. Are we going to dive bomb down the inside? No, we don't. That would have been just too far back. As the Ferrari actually overtakes Yopa, absolutely behind, almost losing the car here. Trying to give it everything I can. Coming across the line, Beresne wins, and we come home in P4 after starting P10. I'm actually quite happy about it, considering this level of competition. I'm really happy about, to be honest. So a good comeback drive in the end, something I thoroughly enjoyed, and I really hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for the support on the channel. I really hope you enjoyed this weekend's Grand Prix, and I will be catching you very soon. Peace.